orientation is locked. Okay, weird. So I was trying to go live the other direction. What am I doing? Hi. So this is going to be my first daily live. I wanted to do it landscape, but it's not letting me. So maybe it's changing things around. Anyway, welcome to RX Tarot. If you're new here, hello, my love. My name is Reilly X. I do tarot, astrology, and human design readings here at RX Tarot. And it's really about helping you get back. I thought it was going to give me a second. It's about getting back in flow with your personal magic. And it's not about feeling like you have to do anything perfectly or like be this very perfect spiritual person. What my whole page is about is learning to love your personal life and feel more excited about what you're actually doing. So we're gonna do a collective read. I also want to share what the current transits and energy is looking like right now. Ignore the cat hair flying by. So at the moment, the sun is in Cancer, the moon is in Gemini. We also have Venus in Gemini and Uranus in Gemini. So there's a lot of emotional connection to why things are suddenly feeling like such a huge shift. Like what is going on with our finances? What is going on with the way we think about things, especially if you have heavy Gemini placements. I myself am a Gemini rising, and I feel like I'm experiencing this very heavily in my sense of identity and how I see myself. So pay attention to those things. I think that's a really big theme for a lot of people right now is, how do I feel about myself? Who am I at my core? What really is my identity? So when you realize, being that Mercury is retrograde in Leo, we have a new moon in Leo this week, this day that the sun goes into Leo. And there's just a lot of energy right now around the self and identity. We have Saturn retrograde, Neptune retrograde, both in Aries. Chiron is also in Aries, which will go retrograde in a couple of weeks. So this time period is intense. It's asking you to see your personal worth. I'm going to do a collective read to see how we're feeling, what can possibly be coming up. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Like I said, the sun is still in Cancer. We only have like hours until it moves into Leo here shortly. So let's see what's coming up. Okay. What does the collective need to hear right now, my loves? Hi, how are you, my love? I hope you're doing well. Oh yeah, this is already making a lot of sense. I think a lot of us are feeling, ooh, oh my goodness. Let's see. I hope you're doing well. I hope everything is going well. I wonder if you're feeling the intensity. I'm sorry, my love. Absolutely. So this energy is pretty heavy, okay? If you're feeling really hopeless today, I want you to understand you might be feeling more connected to the version of yourself that you're releasing, and you're finding that connection to your power again. You're finding that connection to your truth and where you can actually come back up. What happens when we feel really hopeless, our spirit is disconnected, or we're disconnected from our spirit, I should say. So when you realize that's what's happening, it's not that you're actually being punished by the universe, which I know it feels that way. But when it feels that heavy, I want you to remember it's not about if you're doing things right or wrong. It's about finding your connection back to you. And I think where things feel so hopeless right now is if you keep looking out the external world. The external world is always going to be a little bit crazy. It's always going to be a little bit chaotic. So give yourself a break, give yourself a breath. When things feel too intense, it's because this is a really intense time. Absolutely, my love. It's okay. Here's the thing. I want to remind you, as above, so below. That gets me through everything. When I know I'm at a really low point, I can get just as high as low as I got. So I love you. Please don't give up. I'm somebody that used to want to end it. I used to not want to exist for a very long time. And I'm telling you, what changed it for me was no longer feeling so responsible for everybody else. Okay. So find a way to make yourself feel 2% better today. Make sure you've eaten, make sure you've drank some water, things like that. Okay. I love you. Please take care of yourself. Regretting a lot of your decisions is a tricky feeling because that's just wasted energy. You're beating yourself up for something in the past. And I know that's hard to get over, but I promise once you realize you made the best choice you could with what you had, forgive yourself. Absolutely. Thank you, my love. I really appreciate that comment. That warms my heart. Let's jump into this collective reading because maybe this is exactly what you need to hear right now. The Death card is in reverse. You're holding on to something that is not helping you anymore. You're holding on to something that is destroying you in a lot of ways. It's making it hard for you to make the necessary changes. Hierophant in reverse. You need to change. You need to shift the way you're seeing things. And honestly, I think what's happening is you need to change the way you connect to spirit, the way you connect to pain. One of my favorite things is, I am a Capricorn sun and moon in the 8th house, but one of my favorite things is to realize the pain you're feeling can be alchemized into something else. So give yourself some credit, give yourself something to focus on to feel a little bit lighter right now, because I feel like what's happening is it's just so dense and tense right now that it's hard to believe that things can get better. You have to give yourself something to focus on. This is the current conflict, okay? The conflict of who you used to be versus who you're becoming. And there's sort of this like, am I good enough to become that version of myself? Am I really allowed to go there? Which is a lot of nervous system work, right? It's a lot of realizing you are safe to expand, but processing the old stuff in order to move forward is huge. The Devil is also here. I love this deck because it's just an ice cream cone. But with the Devil, it's about what addictions are you stuck to, right? With the Devil being ice cream in this deck, you can really think about it from the place of sometimes sugar is great. A little bit of sugar is nice. But when you're constantly eating more sugar and making yourself sick, I'm an alcoholic. So the alcohol, it's at the point that you're likely realizing that it's just numbing you to everything and it's not actually doing anything. So that in and of itself is a whole nother conversation I can get into, because addiction is something that a lot of people don't realize is suppressed emotion. You're not a bad person for having an addiction. You're someone who has been through a lot of pain and you've managed it the best you possibly can. So you have to forgive yourself, which is probably the heaviest, hardest part about all of this. But you have to forgive yourself for having an addiction, okay? You have to forgive yourself for using something to get you to where you thought you needed to be. And the more you can forgive yourself, the easier it is to love yourself into letting it go. But when it feels like everything is too heavy, I have to keep doing this, that's where it feels impossible to heal. So you really do need to give yourself some sort of grace for what you've already been through, what you've already moved through, and understanding that you have more options than you think right now. With the 7 of Cups here, you have so many more options than you think, but what's happening and what happens to most people, I don't want you to feel like it's just you. This is the collective issue right now. People don't value emotion. People don't understand emotion. People don't realize that feeling your feelings is really uncomfortable. And the reason it's so uncomfortable is because it's energy in motion, and you're finally letting go of an old energy, of an old identity. So the reason you're likely feeling so low right now is there's a part of you that is just so tired of being where you were and where you've been. And it's time for you to choose you. It's time for you to really see your personal value, your personal worth, and trust your intuition a little bit more. I think right now you're in this place. If this is resonating for anybody, especially if you're just coming through, you need to learn how to trust your intuition more. You need to learn how to trust that inner knowing. And it's really hard to trust that when you're constantly suppressing your emotion. So I am a big advocate for feeling your feelings and for finding a way to connect into your personal cycles and to really listen to your inner world, because that's the only way you're going to actually feel any better. That's the only way you're actually going to get to a place where you believe in yourself. So if this is resonating for anybody, I want you to know I have struggled with addiction in multiple forms. So it's not just, a substance once and then this thing and then that thing. There was multiple times that I just kept trying to find that next best thing that was going to make me feel better. None of it made me feel better. And the real magic came in when I started feeling my feelings, processing my shit, working with the moon, and giving myself more credit for the journey that I was on. That's when things really shifted for me. But you can't hate yourself into a place that you love yourself. You can't beat yourself up into being the happy, loving person that you really are. You have to be more gentle. And I think that's the hardest step. I genuinely just want to be positive, but my addiction makes me drink till I get sick and my anxiety shoots through the roof. It's an endless cycle and it feels terrible. And this is why I love knowing about the law of attraction, because once you understand an object in motion wants to stay in motion. Energy in motion wants to stay in motion. Emotions are just energy in motion. So when you feel that anxiety and it starts taking you away, you have to understand that's not the time to try and fix things. And I think that's the point where you become so conscious of the decisions you've already made. So that's where it hurts so bad. But your real work is building a stronger momentum towards trusting yourself before it gets there. And right now, when you're in that battle, you have to give yourself more grace than you're probably comfortable with right now. So I'm holding you in my heart, my love. And I promise things can get better when you don't beat yourself up for being human. I think that is usually the one thing that holds people back the most. Yeah, absolutely. I wish I could give you a hug, my love. Please be gentle with yourself. Things are tricky. Life is intense, and you're not alone in struggling with emotions and struggling with past choices and seeing things differently. It's a lot. It is. So I love you. Thank you for listening. And for anyone who watches this later on, because I think I'm brand new to doing lives on YouTube. But I am about to switch over and go live on TikTok if you guys wanted to see me there. And in case you were wanting to go deeper into a personal reading, you can book at rxtarot.com. I do tarot, astrology, human design, but it's all getting you back to you. It's all about finding your inner spark. It's about reminding yourself who you really are and how you can get back to that. Instead of trying to predict what's going to happen in your future. That's not the kind of person that I am. So thank you, my love. Well, I've been going live on TikTok for years, but this is my first YouTube, so I don't know how the system works. So I am comfortable being live. But thank you. Thank you. I don't want to make it seem like this is my first time. No. Thank you. I appreciate that though. Let me be correct. I have been live many times on TikTok Live, but TikTok, I don't know what's going on with TikTok. I don't know if it's going to stay. I don't know what's happening. So I'm just trying to get more comfortable on this platform. And I think I'm going to find a home here. Thank you for making my first live feel pretty much like my TikTok lives. So this was very cool for me. Thank you, my loves. You're a wonderful person. Please continue to spread positivity the way you have. That's my job. I consider myself the lighthouse because I have been there, my love. I used to want to die every day. I used to be upset that I woke up again. I promise you can find it. I love you. Thank you for helping me realize I got to keep getting over my fears so I can help save more lives. I love you. Absolutely. That's my whole job. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna go cry now. Thank you, my loves. I really appreciate you. Thank you. And please subscribe and like and follow. Thank you, thank you. Take the time to help others. Yeah. Good. Crying is so good. Crying is releasing resistance. Keep crying until you're smiling, okay? I was in a very dark place not so long ago. I hope you have a great day. Thank you, my loves. I hope you have such a good one. Thank you for being here. This was so great. I'm going to be doing this every day just to get comfortable on like going live on YouTube. So maybe I'll see you tomorrow morning, afternoonish, or you can join my TikTok. Awesome. Thank you, my love. Thank you for being here. I really love you guys. And I just want you guys to know you can do it. It's hard as fuck at first, but then it's like, whoa, and it gets fun. Okay? Okay. I better see you tomorrow. I love you. Bye.